Hi everybody, it's Jess, your go-to dance commentator, and we are here with Produce 101 Japan Shinsekai, the position battle. The open round, which I find interesting, we have all of them pulled up. They are no cuts, which makes my heart sing and soar. We're going to look through, share our thoughts. I don't know if these are in the correct order. I couldn't tell you, but I do believe this is an affiliation with rap, vocal, and dance positions, which I am very excited to dive into. If you do not know who I am Jessica Holyfield. I'm a professional dance choreographer, a dance educator based out of the southeast of the United States, and we cover all things dance, whether it's survival shows or if it's a battle circuit or choreography competitions. I'm here for a good time, good vibes. So what we're probably going to do is take a watch through. We're looking at the particular order that they have on the playlist. I'm going to share my thoughts on who stood out in a great way, as well as if I think it's a vocal, rap, or dance unit. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, the first one is I and I's Dominance. A no cut in this 2026 day. This is rap. Oh, okay. Little harmonies. Hey! Bibbidi bobbidi boo! Hey, tell him! Tell him! That was great. I think they all projected well. Also, if you were like, Jess, how far have you gotten in the show? I think I just finished episode 3 and I'm about to watch episode 4 here in the near future, and then I'll be catching up much faster this time next week. So I am actively watching the season, but I do not know any information that pertains to this challenge outside of what Google said. That didn't spoil anything. I don't even know who's passed the first eliminations yet. So maybe I have this prolonged, foreshadowed heartbreak where I think I may recognize someone and they're actually eliminated. That would really suck, but I am watching it, so if you want to be on my journey, it is over on Patreon for you to enjoy and binge away to your heart's content. I liked that. Some people who stood out, I say my guy right there did. I liked his projection. My guy who did Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo, I really liked his tone specifically there. But for going off of actual physical projection, because I'm a mover, I liked my guy right here as well. So I thought this was a very balanced, cohesive group, if just based on this one run through, and I no one stuck out in a negative way, but also I don't know, I couldn't check diction, or I couldn't check whether or not they said the right words. So that's something that I don't have working in my favor here, but we're here for a good time anyway. So I really like the vibe of this, and this one I have lots of confidence in. This is a rap unit. Okay, next one. It is Work Hard. I have a feeling I know this one. The song. Maybe. Wow.
I put myself on the pedestal. Look at my future impeccable. That I got hidden, but I don't got nothing to lose. That got a order top we meet you, we go crazy. I work hard while you stay lazy. They eat them, yeah, you would see much of you remember, baby. みんなしすぎ勘違い。俺実を見つかる恋に落ちるはこれベンチライン。誰が何か言っても意味ないことばっかり言ってちゃないさ。俺はやばいってちゃんと聞け。
I like the conversationalness of that.
You know that 俺らが新世代 All eyes on me, we're the rappers MVP I look for sister son 目立ってるストーリー俺でももう一回言ってるストーリー
A little bit off. Ah, that he put a little off there.
みんな知ってる僕は何は Please ベアアツ王国出身必殺ウィープリンセススマイ僕の生きがいあいつ伝えるのにない8代運指忘れんないよもうに一生離れんで
That was cute.
Everyone, Mimi smash that. Hit it hard for the contact. Back on a member entertainer. 光り輝く twilight. 恐れしないシュリーさ。進めていただくベネフィット。メイクなしの美女いいじゃん。
I like this part. That was cool. Woo! Rah! Work. Okay. I would say this one's a little bit of a shakier one. Personally, it did look like somebody made a mistake. And I will say, there are times when you do watch performers who, you know, they pretend to make a mistake or they pretend to look fatigued. That reads differently, and there's a different type of projection that is needed for that compared to genuinely making a mistake, right? So I'm going to lean like there was an actual mistake made, which sucks, right? But I think there was. I like that guy. I like his vibe. Also, I think the very first guy to go too. This guy, that guy. Yeah, and I mean, I can't really, like, even take a gander of who that is, because their faces are blurred to me, so I cannot see them. And like I said, I don't even know who survived yet, so I don't even know who's in these groups, which makes this so fun. There's just enough mystery for me, where I'm truly giving shots in the dark based on how I feel. I have nothing going into this, which is awesome. So I would say my first two, like my guy there, and then the other one that I just pointed out, they were my standouts in this one. They didn't feel as cohesive, but remember, it's my personal opinion, and how the song resonates from how it was projected to me as a listener, from somebody who's not fluent in Japanese. So those are going to be my two picks for that. Hopefully they may score well. I forget if this one is it's each person gets a certain votage, high and low. And I think they still do that all the way through the next challenge too, if I'm remembering right. Or if it's like the team versus a team. I know they're against the other rappers. I would say the other rap team is going to score higher than this one if I were to rank them here. Okay, now we have Imagine Dragons Natural. Based on this song, I don't think it's a rap song, so it's going to be, I think, a dance one. So let's watch. Just based on the type of track it is. What'd I say? Immediately, come on.
Will you hold the line? When everyone of them's giving up, giving in, tell me, and this also mine. Nothing ever comes down to consequence, cause tell me, with the stars align. We'll have to stop being ready, saves from singing ready, cause they saw some light. Stand strong. There's no price to pay. Leave behind your heart and just away. Just another product of today. Rather be the heart than the brain. And you stand on the edge, face up, cause you are not. can taste it. The end is the fullness, I swear. Gonna make it. I'm gonna make it. Natural. Yeah, you were natural. Natural.
Oh, a double tour.
You gotta be so good to make it in this world.
There's a guy with a ballet training. Is what it looks like.
You gotta be so good. Yeah, you were natural.
It's either ballet or figure skating. I'm gonna lean ballet because it's the same guy. He did a turning jeté. But I heard it was called, it's like, there's a certain term that was used. When you watch Stage Fighter, you saw me like go on a deep dive on that. And the term is lost over there because I haven't had to bring it up since we watched Stage Fighter together. Starts with an M though. And then they ended up doing a double tour. He stood out in this. I'm going to say this, and I have a feeling I may feel this way with all of the dance ones. Because I made this exact same note of critique from the logistics side of the challenge in reference to Boys Planet, because I encountered that there. Here's what happens whenever you replace the vocals, right? I feel like we can actually play these back, like the dance ones, because, you know, I'm a dancer, so I know that a lot of you watch me for my dance reviews. When you have the individuals who are here cover a song compared to dancing to the original song, I understand it's most likely a copyright workaround. I get that. Totally get that. And you still encounter it. It just depends. My thing with it is when you create, right, Carlos? Whenever you create a track with the people who are dancing, their vocals on it, they're going to associate it in a similar format that I have noticed an observation. They're going to format it where you have heavy features based on who's vocally singing or who's projecting. Because if we're being honest, they should not have to, if it's a dance battle, they should not have to showcase vocals or rap or anything, because they should dance. You know, just like for me, I live in the land on vocalists shouldn't have to dance for the vocal challenge, and rappers shouldn't have to dance for the rap side. But that's just, that could be a hot take, whatever. I know that you have to be able to multitask. We see that in other challenges, right? So that's why I'm like, there's a time and place for it. If we're specifically fighting for like a particular area like dance, I really wish that we could dance to the original song so we could see more creative composition choices. And it's not necessarily their fault, because I would be locked into that headspace. If I hear so-and-so's voice, I would want them featured for it. Does that make sense? So we're going to chat through it. Maybe I'm completely wrong with them delegating this challenge. I did see symptoms of it, which is why I say that. So we have a little lean from one side to another. I like the more of the rigidness of that. The drop down reverb, I thought that was fun. Right? Super lip singing. It's cool. I personally wish, that's like a logistic of the challenge that I personally do not like. And I have felt that way ever since I've watched this challenge, whether it's Boys Planet or Produce. So having that scarecrow puppeting, more puppeting kind of hand was fun. I like the contrast of levels, great dynamics. I thought they all worked well together. We ended up doing a one-handed cartwheel. That was fun. I like the usage of the ground. Good levels there. The pulls are nice. Going to the column. They cater to your feature there, which I think is fun. The rigidness of that was cool. Into that. I think it's called a menage. See, now it's going to bother me a lot. Hold. Okay, so it's not a menage. M-A-N-A-G-E. It's not that. What he's doing... It's a turning jeté, is grand jeté, is what I would call that. Which, side note, if you're like, ooh, Jess with the ballet lingo, yo, Stage Fighter, I had so much fun. It was like a fever dream watching that mess. Loved it. If you want to see us talk about that, you can go there. But I've seen things like that in the figure skating world, and I've seen it in the ballet world. So I'm going to say that he's more so ballet trained because he does a double tour, which is that double rotation we'll see in the back. Yeah, and he does a little slide, little Ranajan moment. Not really. More so just like a slide of the foot. So that was a fun feature. I thought that was cool. Out of place, not... I wouldn't go as far as to say that. I think the vocals on this track are more out of place than the dancing is. And that's just because of the basis of the challenge. It's not because I don't think their vocals are bad. No. I don't think they're needed. Maybe for the show, but not for us as watchers. We have some unison there, which I don't hate. Just like we would listen for vocal arrangements for complexity and harmony and projection. I personally would like to see that more in the dance side, right? So that was nice, seeing it expand out with the arms. That's called a Superman there. I'm going to a little tit-tap-toe, but we had more of a masculine posture there that's outside of the realm of house. So I wouldn't go as far as say that. They pull it, sit it out, natural drop to the ground. Lots of reverbed drops deep inside me. Twinkle, we open it up, wrist rotation around. I like the moment with the hand. That's fun. Another column moment. My gut says they had to create this dance. If I'm remembering this challenge correctly. I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. Good projection there. I like the moment with the shaking of the hands. Their tone, I also think too, if you have the tone of Imagine Dragons, it's going to read differently in the type of texture or the physical demand that you would expect on the said track compared to their own vocals. That's another catch-22 of using their vocals compared to the original artists, right? Especially when you're measuring movement from a musicality standpoint. Like, that gets muddled really fast. The toss down. So we have a lot of unison when you hear more of a unified sound, which I don't mind. That's absolutely a great, safe, go-to format to do. Your music really is a good guide, which is why I am a stickler for it a lot of times. The levels on that right there. That. But notice, though, he doesn't have that same guy that I was saying that he has, like, he could have ballet training. I don't know. The reason why I was thinking figure skater, too, I'm like, I can't even tell you who it is right now. It's quite simply because the technique and the landings are off. Like, his shane is not a proper technical shane prep, which is the turn that he did before the leap. And the prep and the finish of that was also not proper. And you can tell somebody who's trained in ballet, like, extensively, like, that is something that they specialize in, if that makes sense. You could tell based on some ingrained things because of the format of the class. That's pretty universal, which is a very interesting thing about ballet, is you do bar work, you go across the floor, you do a petit allegro, adagio, like, and those of you who've taken class, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And so that's what's making me question whether or not this person has, like, extensive training in it. It's the same thing as somebody who has a heavy martial arts background. Even if they're in shoes, you can see the form, right? So that's why I'm like, I'm going to rain check that. And I'm really curious about finding, I really hope they touch on it because I'm just curious. I'm curious about it. But I will give them credit for the versatility. I like being able to showcase the versatility. Right ripple there with the tension. They pull away out of it. That was really fun. That's the beauty of a no cut because you can see everything. Ha 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 ha. The way, all the way around. That was a fun moment there for a feature moment. We drop it down to the knees we go. We end up tracing up the back of the thigh to a leg extension. I thought that was a fun moment. And then we drop to the ground with a feature in the back. So I thought that was fun. I didn't mind it. It does resonate the same way as most dance portions of challenges feel, which, you know, it is what it is. But I think they did a great job. They looked pretty cohesive. And I like that you got to see people have their own little moments to show out. Okay, next. This is my grandfather's clock. It is giving vocal unit. Let's see if it is. I love guessing so much. It's so fun.
Clock, tick tock, my grandfather's clock. Clock, tick tock, my grandfather's clock. Let's go. And awake in the morning routine. I adore it could rock, never fly, never mind. Now I can't stop wishing.
Are we?
I get to the good old times.
Or is it?
I get to the good old times.
Is this a rap unit?
I was moving on to better things. Tick tock, stop. But I know it'll go again. I'll just give it time. On the morn, on the day that he was born. Every hour tells me to pass you by. I just give it time. Oh, nowadays, on my phone. Better handle what's waiting goodbye. The close up ahead and go again. Let's go. Grandfather's clock was too large for myself. Now I stand even taller than before. I just give it time of face. Looking back, all the time that it sucks. I can't wind up and keep going forward. Okay. And now I'm running out of 6 tick tock. Going off with a better way. Tick tock. The gun stops. And I know it'll go again.
There's harmonies.
Give it time. I know I'm running out of 6 tick tock. So it's over for the better. Tick tock. The gun stops. And I know it'll go again.
This one is throwing me off. Hey, that's nice. That's nice. Is that Adam? I think it is. Because that's that tone I'm registering, but the vibrato is different than what I'm used to hearing. This one has thrown me because there's rap element in it and there's vocal element in it, but there's more vocal than rap. So I'm going to, we have what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I want to have confidence and say this is vocal unit, but I don't know. And I think this is fun. And something that I'm thinking about too. There could be a component where every single unit has to perform. It's not exclusive to, the vocals have to vocal and you have to dance too. Like, I don't know the mechanics of the challenge 100%. So there could be a shift in that compared to like Boys 2 Planet or Boys Planet where you could just sing, right? Okay. Right now I'm going to say this is vocal unit. We're going to see, though. Okay, next. 17 Songgong. This one, I would say, based on the song, I think you can get away with it being a performance. I don't know if this would be a good rap or vocal. Okay. I wonder if they got a note about using choreography from the original, like we saw from Boys 2 Planet. We'll talk about that in a second. I know this dance very well. Brum. How they cut this is exactly how I cut my just take of doing this dance, was this exact cut. It's just right. That's cool. Great way to use the fan. That's gorgeous. Cool. Okay, I'm gonna give a note to this, or just an observation. If you watched Boys to Planet, you remember, I believe it was the La 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 group. It was a Shinlong's group on the dance side. They referenced a lot of the original dance, and they got heavily criticized by the mentors for it. They said you're using too much of the original dance, because the premise of the challenge for the dance unit was they had to make their own dance. Once again, don't know if they have to make their own dance. If they don't, they played it smart. If they did, I think they copied a little too much of the dance, and to where it's like, it's not keeping the heart of the challenge alive, right? Because Imagine Dragons, there is not a dance with it, because Imagine Dragons is not a dance group. It is used for dance reference, but I will say, if there was an existing dance that was used without permission, you're going to run into an issue there. But I don't think that's the case. Talking about this here, I think I slowed it down, right? Okay. We're going to chat through, because we're dancers! The beginning is really fun. I like that, where you have the smoke, you have the Songgong moment there. We're used to seeing that with the lift. I really think from the chorus on was where you really saw a lot of, we were taking the direct choreography and then embellishing it with a dynamic. That was fun. Gee. Also, I personally find difficulty in creating new choreography on such notable work. It's really difficult to do. In the case, Law, whenever you had Wute choreographed to that from Boys to Planet, like the song was used in the unit, but there's such a recognizable dance to it, it gets really, really hard to create your own impression with it. Which is why a lot of times I don't create a dance. If I'm like, if the dance is really good, why am I gonna have a perspective when I highly respect the perspective there? When I don't like I don't have a drive to, because I just want to appreciate for what it's made as. So I see an extra level of difficulty with creating a different choreography to a track like this whenever it's really, really well known. Like, it's so well known in the 17 discography. If you know them, there's a really high chance you may know this song, right? Just like Aju Nice. So there's a chance, even if the choreography is different here, right, where we have features, same thing, where people are comparing the vocalization to the original too, if you know it. That's reference of the original. But you have just a different kind of accent point. That's the same choreo. Da-dum, da-da. That's different. The pull through is fun. Little hits and folks is nice. Oh, say. It's so hard to figure out. Like, instead of a vibration across, they're doing a ripple, which is nice. This is an uphill battle to make something different. And I don't think they made it different enough. If they were supposed to make their own dance, I don't think they succeeded, if I'm being completely honest. This is original. Just because you have a speed change in the back, but if you're still referencing the original choreography, I'm still gonna call it that, right? All this original choreo, maybe with the exception of a pull or two, that's original choreo. Pull. This is the same kick, toss, same choreo. So I would say there's like, they didn't have to create choreography compared to Imagine Dragons team. Did a mentor catch this? Huh. Like, it's interesting to me. I have not personally seen a group reference the same dance as much as I've seen it here. I'm not downplaying their movement quality. Their movement's great. But I think there's a bigger issue that we're seeing here. A pull through, toss down. There's your Songgong. That was a fun partner moment. That's different. That's nice. Toss away. I saw that reference in the first verse of Songgong. Hi, that's fun. This is the same choreo. Well, that's a little different. But the intensity, that... Okay. That's more different than the chorus was. Yeah. And the fans. I like the fans a lot. I wish we used them a little bit more. That's a really fun finish here. I like the bass being recognized with the canon, meaning a sequence of movements with different start and finish times. So turnaround's really fun. Cool. So when it comes to overall composition, I am going to lead to Imagine Dragons, but remember, my opinion could absolutely shift just based off of challenge logistics. So know that. I'm a very moldable human. I'm not sold on any one thought that I have. I have very few hills I die on, and none of those hills were discussed here. I really liked, when it comes to prop utilization, absolutely loved the fans here. Really like that. I thought the LED screen was cool here with the type of smoke look. I think the beginning was really fun. My big note that I would give this is, which is really hard to do in general, so I highly understand why this probably happened. The referencing of the original dance does take away, and it actually subconsciously can force comparison in unnecessary places. But that is going to naturally happen anyway, if I'm being honest, especially from the sound composition of it, and to the projection of the movement itself. So that's interesting. So I'm curious about y'all's thoughts there. But remember, I'm not saying any of this with negative intention, so I apologize if it came across that way, but I think it does need to be said. I am very surprised at the amount of referencing that we were able to do here. Normally it gets recognized and kind of refined in the mentor stage. So I'm so curious about when this happens, what goes down. Okay, this group, it's giving vocals. Okay, Zerobaseone, Doctor. They do technically have choreography to this, but that was more of recent than the original release. Doctor. This is a good song. I think it's fun. It's pretty fun staging so far. Pretty good timing.
Doctor, help me. 나게 해줘 너 때문에 lovesick. 너 아니면 소용없어. Don't need. It's an LOV emergency. 박신하고 있어. 현이 골프며 가빠진 heartbeat. 멈추지를 못해 너를 향하니까 안해봐. Lift the heart now, babe. 혈이 올라 심장에 몇 번이고 마주치는 눈빛에 머릿속이 하얘지는 기분, yeah. 넌 내맘 몰라, yeah. And I give it all, I will give it all. 숨쉬게 하는 건 Oh baby 너뿐인 걸. 나타났다니 나게 해줘 너 때문에 lasting. 너 아니면 소용없었더니 It's a L.O.V. emergency. 다다다다리 수도 아니야 거쳐볼 수 있어. 기쁘지가 한데 그래 역시 이거 L.O.V. eternally. 이게 가라 피부야 시카르미야 히라도와 아무 말을 해도 하루와 빠다르고 이러 I miss it 다 없이 안 stress 난 왠지 좀 이상해 왜 네 앞에서 이런 눈치. Top of the hill, top of the roof, top of the world. It's the be 하늘로 blue, top of the 너 말곤 없어 유일한 내 songs. I give it all, yeah I will give it all. 미를 주는 거, oh baby 너뿐인 걸. Doctor, help me, 나게 해줘 너 때문에
I think this one is my favorite. And I think it's because it feels like a vocal unit. Yes, did we dance? Of course. But I liked how we established an interesting tone set of framing and like pass off of mirroring movement. Really liked that. And I would say it was very engaging in the vocals and in the composition as a whole. It really felt like we stayed true to the unit that we were, but we did expand for the captivation element for your audience. So I thoroughly enjoyed this one a lot. And also getting that falsetto right without it breaking your vocal range, I thought was really well done. Okay, next we have JO1B Classic. I don't know what this one's gonna be. It's giving dance performance.
Yeah. 運命のように始まるステップ記憶の中に潜むメッセージ感じて気持ちクレッシェンドどっちも Yeah Wow この鍵盤の上で Dancing 自由に見せるパフォーマンス誰にも握らせない僕らの時期はバランス集まった音粒から生まれてくストーリー永遠になる
So let's see what's cool. Okay. Come on, LED change.
Go to the top and be the one. Hey, classic. Go to the top and be the one. Second of us, we meant to be classic.
So there is something I personally need to do before we even dive into this one, so let me go do that. Okay, I'm back. I know it was no time for you. It was 3 minutes for me. I went to watch the original because, you know, I gave the notes I did about Song Gong, so I have to extend the same courtesy here to the JO1 track, B Classic. I'm not going to be able to catch everything because I do not know this dance nearly as well as I do the other one, but I did take a watch and see if there's similarities. There are. So the same note would apply to this one. Like this beginning, he is actually using a conductor little stick thing. I know, I'm so sorry. I know that's not what that's called. I know there's a name for it. It's not in my brain right now. So I cannot tell you what they ended up like super referencing and then what they don't reference, because if they also loopholed it and took a lot of choreography from this dance and put it in their performance, I think like the tricky thing for me to navigate with it is that yes, you have with the vocal team and the rap team, they are technically doing covers of respective tracks. Are they creating the same choreography? I don't think so. I could be wrong once again, right? So that's like the hard thing to navigate with this. If we're choosing to do a dance unit, it's really just depending on the preference and how you want to view it. I know for myself, I really prioritize and value composition creativity and not over-referencing, especially when you're competing. And it's not a cover contest. If it's you need to make your own dance, you need to make your own dance. Sure, you can pull inspiration, but don't don't over reference, because then you're no longer making a dance, you're just covering somebody else's creative energy, which is kind of, if every single team, which not every team had the same courtesy of having dances to reference, like, sure, the Imagine Dragons, I'm sure you can go in the studio realm of concepts and watch, people's class choreo of it, but these have, like, JO1 has a dance practice to this, Songgong 17 has a whole freaking mega crew reference to this, and so there's like a different spectator expectation, which is also like really, really hard, and also part of the strategy on selecting which units, if you're able to, because everybody has their own strategy, and everybody in the audience, they are not thinking the way that I'm thinking sitting here. I'm so aware of that, so there's a chance that all of my thoughts are gonna not matter. Because they don't, if I'm really being honest. I'm just sharing my thoughts because I'm some of many, but I just wanted to keep that in mind with you guys. Like, I'm not going to catch as much, but the same note applies to this one that I gave extensively to the Songgong, so don't think that I'm being, like, hypocritical. I'm extending it, even if I'm not as aware. The note still stands. I do like the vibe of this one a lot. It's cool. I like a musical idea. But this one, I would say, is a prime example, because they are covering with their own vocals, even though they're not vocalizing live. The head I thought it was fun moments. Like, the choreography composition of this one is really fun, just like Songgong's is. No, are they hitting the exact same things? I don't think so. I feel like if they're going to reference it, it'll be in the chorus. Let's see. That's reference, yeah. I wonder if one of our mentors was actually a choreographer involved in this dance. The 1, 2, 3, 4, the ripple's the same, but it's a different reference point. So they did reference it. Is it the full chorus? I don't know. The classic, is it the arms? It's the arms, not the legs. But we also cut out the rap part. See, I did watch it. They bleed it out. So it's not a straight line in the back, it's a diagonal. So I would say they referenced heavy dynamics, but they changed where they were in the spots, just like the Songgong team did. That's the same. There's your B class at the claps. Breaking at the glass, to the ground we go. Fog galore, smoke galore. We have our conductor stick. So we're playing the little piano. I thought that was fun. I think this is different. The knock with the add-on. It's fine. It's cool. We do have a lot of unison with just the transition, like walk to a new spot. So that would be a note I would give to this too. Okay, so how would I rank these? Because I do believe we have all three of them reviewed at this point. One of them was the Imagine Dragons, one was 17 Songgong, and then it was this one. I would probably go 17. Nope, it would probably go Imagine Dragons first. Firstly, because of the creative component of there's an advantage to not having a choreographic reference point. I would probably lean the Seonggong second, this one third, and I think the difference between the two, because the note is really similar that I gave for both, I do believe that the Seonggong had more dynamics in levels and in ripples and in deviations outside of center that I think really help in the competitiveness of a dance unit, because staging really matters for that. And then I would put this one as third. Now, if all of them were given demos that they had to replicate and then they created a free part, then I humbly apologize for my observations. But I do stand behind my thoughts. Even if they were given demos, I still feel the way that I feel about the dance unit challenge. I really wish we got to use the original tracks or use tracks that we had permission to use the original versions of, so we can truly focus on the dance with the track to really complement that musicality moment versus having to get accustomed to the track, to whatever references they choose with their dance, because sometimes their vocals, we may get so caught off guard by how their vocals project in comparison to how we're used to hearing the track, that it sounds like you're not just, it's like a twofold. Like, we're not just comparing how do they vocally sound to the track like you would for a vocal unit. You're dealing with that and then the movement on top of it. And we have to judge the movement and not the vocals, but the vocals is half the battle and what we're hearing. That's kind of my big tiff with it. And I felt this way every time, and my mind has not changed. So I think I'm okay with having that perspective. Because once again, I'm not married to it, but I have more of you guys that agree with me than disagree. But also, once again, I'm always open for discussions on that. So that's going to be my ranking. And I'm going to write it down this time, because I remember when I did the review for the second challenge, I forgot who did I vote for. And I'm watching that portion right now. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to put, for dance, I'm going to say, firstly, these are the groups that I think were the dance units. Pretty safe to say. I'm going to say my first is the Imagine Dragons. Second is going to be Super. And then third is going to be the JO1. I do think, now if we're looking at them in a sense of cohesion, all of them are very cohesive. I'd say the dance units are pretty competitive. I think they did a great job. And then I like the projection, I think, was very well read. We really appreciate that. And there is something to be said about that, because if it was messy, then there's a whole extra component to talk through in a negative way. But I'm really happy that we even have this challenge to even have these conversations, because some of you may bring a perspective that I've never heard before that allows me to appreciate and enjoy the show in a very different way, which I find to be fun. Okay, this one, it's giving vocal unit. We're sitting on stools. So
空にある何かを見つめてたら
Ooh!
それは推しだって君が教えてくれたまるでそれは僕らみたいに寄り添ってるそれを泣いたり笑ったり繋いでゆく何十回何百回ぶつかり合って何十年何百年昔の光が星自身も忘れた頃に僕らに届いてる僕ら見つけ合って殴り合って同じ空輝くだって二人だって約束した遥か遠く
That's tricky! Having to switch that!
どこまでいつまで生きられるか君が不安になるたびに強がるんだ大丈夫僕が横にいるよ見えない線の砂と僕ら見つけ合って手繰り合って同じ空輝くのだって二人だって約束した遥か遠く終わらないベテルギウス
This is a nice build.
つなぐ魔法
Is that Hyunjae? I'm taking a guess that that's Hyunjae. Ooh, that was pleasant. Okay. Okay. I think he really stood out in a nice way vocally. And the interesting thing, right? Because this is what I typically expect for a vocal unit is stuff like this. There's a risk that gets run as the catch-22, or like the second, like the other side of what I referenced on, we can focus on vocals. If you don't have other things to supplement for vocal instability at any point, all we have to go off of are vocals, right? Which is why sometimes you see groups have a balance between, I know I did this, a balance between like how you stage it to we're here and we want you to really focus on our vocalization. So I do think my guy right here, there were some areas that it sounded like we were fighting for it versus settling in and really existing within the track. I really liked how he particularly sounded, and I'm guessing that that's Hyunjae. Maybe I do get to guess people after all. Okay, so this one's vocal. It'd be, yeah, very safe. And this one also looks vocal, which means one of them that I thought was vocal was actually rap. If this one is what I think it is. Maybe it's rap. I don't know. Well, you know it's not dance. We've already had those covered. So I was completely thrown off. Confetti and the scenery, scenic view. I like a good bubble for their confetti. Okay. Come on then. Explosion with fireworks! The guy in the center is like, is carrying a bit of that. I guess, is this like, because they talk about killing parts, is this a killing part? Okay, projection. Alright, I would say my guy right here, he feels familiar. I feel like I've seen him in a previous challenge. Maybe he was in Bite Me. And then he, I think, could be one of the ones that, like, he had some of the most to present vocally. Okay, so that was interesting. The fact that up until the end, I didn't know which ones were the raps and the vocals, at least one of those. So this is a vocal unit. That's the playlist. Ignore. This is the rap. Pretty good. Rap. Dance. This one's rap, I guess, because this one had a mix of rap and vocals. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna like organize this on my end here. We're gonna do That was rap. This is rap and rap. Imagine's here. 17 Songgong. And then this one's vocal. JO1 is performance. Okay, so we've already determined. I think this would be my lineup. Like, first through third for that. Let's cover rap. Out of these, I prefer INI's dominance. Inside note, somebody told me that I believe it is pronounced INI and not any, like I was calling them, but they were a little mean about it, if I'm being honest, on my YouTube comments, but that's life. Let the girl make mistakes. Okay. So with rap, I'm going to put this one as first. I'm going to say the I too, I. This one, I liked the innovation of it. I liked the hybrid of it. It really caught me off guard. This is tricky. I don't know because I wasn't putting this in the rap category. So my projection of expectation that I would set for judging these would be according. And also keep in mind, as a side note, these do not get judged objective ever. Even with your mentors and even with me, because I have to go off of my own basis of how I would normally judge something. And I'm going to judge the dance naturally a little bit more stricter than the vocal and the rap. Why? Because it's what I do for a living. And that's what I'm really familiar and fluent in. And I don't expand outside of that scope with the same type of like projection of expectation. Because that would just, I don't have that in my ability. Does that make sense? At least not yet. So I could be like completely on the money or completely off, and that's fine because I'm not emotionally invested in it. I just want everybody to succeed and enjoy the journey. So okay, I don't know. Let me hear these. I think somebody did forget the words here, and I don't think somebody forgot the words here. I thought this one. They didn't sound too unstable, and I liked the staging choice. So I'm going to go with Grandfather's Clock. I'm going to say Grandpa is what I'm going to put on that one. For me, is 2. And then for number 3, I'm going to say is this one, which is Work Hard. Now, there is a song by the guy who did this, Shi-na-na-na-na-na, that I think he has a song called Working, it's like Working Out or Working Hard, something like that. So that's what I thought they were about to cover. So wrong. Okay. I did that, and so now we go to vocal. See, I'm so glad I'm writing these down because I'm going to be asking the same questions on camera when I'm watching the episode. Who did I vote for? Now I'm going to have receipts. I absolutely thoroughly enjoyed the Dr. Zerobase one. I would pick this one as my favorite out of all of the performances. So that one's most likely going to be my number 1, which do not take this as I'm perjuring myself when I said for the vocal unit, the importance is the focus on the vocals. I did. But also, note that all 3 vocal units did not have heavily vocal, like, vocal is my jam, and this is what I do, XYZ the best. Like, Adam was not a part of these 3. The way that we heard Adam in the beginning. Does that make sense? With, like, a nice, unique vocal charm to it. Now, everybody could be vocalist, sure. And it is, if I'm being honest, out of the 3 units, it's the safest bet of practice because your body is not getting put through hell like the performance unit would be, or the rap unit is what I would extend that courtesy to. I do think they supplemented successfully, like the most successfully, for the different skill sets of vocalists that they had in their group is really where this kind of basis is, because they're all trainees, or a lot of people are inexperienced, and I love that component about this show. I love people who have no experience coming in and having such raw talent, and I really root for people like that, because if you get them under the right circumstances, man, they will thrive, and I love it. So they're gonna be my first, and I would probably pick them as first for everybody. I would score them pretty high because of how smart they were with it. I really appreciated the vocal risks of this. I'm gonna say this is Issa. Maybe. I don't know. Like, I'm trying to remember Issa, and I remember somebody had said that I had brought up Issa from when I watched the group challenge before the full cams. Like, I've been watching this so out of order on the challenges, and there's I'm having a freaking blast about it. As a side note, I like the risk taking of the vocalization here. Yeah. And I like the spotlighting choices of this too. Like we stood up, we moved around, and so I really appreciated that. So I'm going to put this one, I'm going to say my harmony spotlights. That's what I'm going to call them. Because it's all in Japanese and I cannot read Japanese right now. I am working on it. Fear not. And then I would put them as third because they did stay on the platforms. We didn't really do anything much outside of singing. Now, can the camera absolutely make this feel completely different? Oh, yeah. That's why I watched the no cuts, because I'm seeing it from an audience standpoint, because I'm curious if the rankings, would I change based on where the camera's going and how we see the mannerisms of performance. There's a very high chance I could. So I'm going to put this one is DISM. I'm going to say Confetti, the Confetti City group, because that's what that looks like in their LED. Okay, so I have my rankings, guys. It'll probably be maybe 2 weeks, a week, until I can actually watch these episodes, because they do sub them later than whenever they have them released. So I'm here really enjoying it. Thank you guys for having an interest in wanting me to look at these, and the grace for me kind of going in blind and really being able to kind of share my thoughts with this headspace that I have, and then not getting spoiled, which I really appreciate, like not providing too many spoilers in the comments so I can really uncover it naturally as a viewer. Thank you for that. If you are somebody who's like, Jess, I would love to share the spoiler with you because it's already been discussed, please put spoiler on your comment and then leave room so others may also want to uncover the show at a later time, like myself, just so we can have that kind of experience if we would choose to have that. But I'm having a blast. Cannot wait to continue watching this, and of course the discussions and challenges that come along the way. You guys know me, I know you. I am Jess, and I will catch you on the flip side. Bye.